As screen time dominates the lives of some children and even adults, one theatre director is hoping that families will unplug and reconnect through the shared experience of live theatre. The stage adaptation of Roald Dahl's The BFG will make its first international stop in Singapore from Wednesday. CNA's Nadine Yeam sits down with director Daniel Evans to find out more about the magic of family theatre.
Big, friendly, giant.
BFG for short. Not that short.
One of Roald Dahl's beloved children's books comes to life outside of the United Kingdom for the first time. Ahead of the preview show, I had the chance to speak with co-artistic director of the Royal Shakespeare Company and director of the BFG, Daniel Evans, to find out more about the process behind staging the show and the larger message of showcasing family theatre to a local audience. But first, I had to get his thoughts on starting this international project here, alongside local co-producers, the Singapore Repertory Theatre and the Esplanade.
It's important to us at the RSC, particularly at this moment in time, that we are able to collaborate across borders, across boundaries, and learn from each other's cultures and ways of working. And what better partners than SRT and the Esplanade here. So it was just a gift for us to be able to share our work more widely with the rest of the world.
I think the BFG is a story where many parents here would have grown up with themselves. My question is basically, what was the biggest challenge in converting the storybook to the stage?
For those people who know the story, you have to have giants on stage. You have to have dreams on stage, dreams that fly through the air, that go into jars, and from jars into trumpets, and from trumpets into people's ears in order to give them nightmares. So for our design team, it was a huge challenge, and we had many workshops along the way to figure out how we would do giants. And it's my first time working with puppets, but immediately it became clear that this was our way forward. And some of our puppets are spectacular. Some of them are 20 foot high. Yeah, so it's the show is quite a spectacle.
But in a time when our lives are dominated by technology and childhood is now shaped by screens, we discussed if live theatre is something that is still relevant and worth going in today's society.
It's something to do with switching off our screens and being present in the room and feeling alive with a group of people who are in front of you telling a story for you. And there is something about that I think deeply engages our imagination. This is a story about imagination, about how a young orphaned girl engages her imagination and helps save the world, or the world's children. And so there is something deep in this story that I think does invite the audience to engage their imagination in a way that is not literal. And maybe that's the thing with screens, is that you get something highly literal, whereas here we live in the world of metaphor and the imaginations.
Many parents in Singapore are sort of looking for experiences that are not only entertaining, but meaningful for their children especially. What conversations do you hope that this show might spark between a family when they attend the production?
Encouraging young people to play, to use their own imagination, to use whatever they have around the house to make their own play. But then there's also something perhaps, as you say, the word meaningful. It's a great word because at the heart of this story is a young person who initially feels very powerless. She's a young, female, bespectacled orphan. And she ends the story having formed an unusual alliance with a queen and a giant. And together, they triumph over evil. And so there may be conversations around how we can engage our imaginations in order to bring good in the world, both to ourselves, but also to other people. I can't imagine that a Singaporean child is any different from any other child anywhere else in the world. Because without wonder, without the imagination, we can't imagine a better tomorrow. And that's often at the heart of Dahl's stories.
And finally, for parents here deciding whether or not to bring their children to this show, what makes the BFG more than just a nice family experience to have?
First of all, the spectacle. our amazing scenic design by Vicky Mortimer, the amazing puppetry design, I've mentioned Toby Ollier. We have many, many different kinds of puppets, and we play with scale. So there are constant surprises, like Easter eggs, throughout the show. Some aren't revealed until the second act. We've had 3 generations, sometimes 4 generations within families come together, and they all laugh together. And so if people want to have that experience where the whole family can enjoy something on the same level together and have that feeling of togetherness coming out of the theatre, having been moved by a thrilling piece of theatre that also has a great story, of course, from the great story master, Roald Dahl, then book, because there's nothing like it nowadays.
From 4 to 6 meter tall puppets operated by multiple people, to movement trackers that help create the illusion of stage magic, the BFG brings its unique blend of theatre, technology and puppetry to Singapore and hopes to spur a greater love for children's literature and theatre. The show will run from 22nd April to 9th May.